Rick Marata's in the place, of course, of Jerry Esplano, who is still injured and he's not going to play today.
And he's been doing quite well. Replacing Gerald Esplana as we look at Bong Alvarez against Vergel Meneses and Lambert Shell. I think he has someone watching him, his inspiration. In the Cuneta Astrodome, you will be seeing her later. As we saw a miss by Andy De Guzman. The referees for this ball game are referee Ledesma, referee Varela, and referee Vic Bartolome.
Miscommunication on the part of the blue shirts. Ball will remain with the Realtors. Well, we remember, Jimmy, that at the last game of these two teams, Bong Alvarez and Rick Marata did not play in that game.
And Rick Marata will pass off to Andy De Guzman, who fakes off. The defense. And the foul committed by Tony Harris. 10 minutes and 49 remaining. No one has scored yet in this ball game. First time these two teams met, Santa Lucia won. Nelson Aceitono tapped it out.
You know, these are the two top teams in terms of offense here in the PBA. And somehow you have this feeling that unless these two teams can execute well, as you see this easy slam off a steal by Tony Harris, again, half-court execution will be key in this ball game as well as team rebounding, Jimmy.
So Tony Harris opened the scoring and Bong Alvarez will even things out right away. So that's the first deadlock of this ball game. 10 minutes and 22 remaining. Tony Harris has been noted for a lot of things in this conference. As De Guzman blocked Rudy Distrito and Rick Marata will miss completely, but saved.
Good save by Shell. Limpot will take it in.
Oh yes. Alexandro Limpot has distinguished himself in the semifinals. We have to remember they entered the semifinal round, the last of the 5 teams, and they won over the heavyweights. After a ball fake, a pass off to Nelson Aceitono, and that will make this ball game tied once again.
Well, certainly Jun Limpot has been one of the key players for Santa Lucia. He has stepped up his performance here. 21 points per game as we see a great inside pass to Andy De Guzman, another guy who has picked up his game here in the semis, averaging almost 11 points per game.
Apparently there has been quite a response to the absence of Gerald Esplana.
And you know, what's very amazing with the way Santa Lucia has been playing is the fact that they've been only using about 8 players per ball game. Some people express some concern there, Jimmy, but obviously when something goes well, especially in your rotation, then you've got to go with it. Of course, one thing that will probably be affecting that is when you get into foul trouble.
And let's not forget the major decision that has brought him here to the semifinal round, the acquisition of Lambert Shell.
Oh yes, Lambert Shell, I've always said this, is not only a guy who can put up the numbers every night here, but I think he has provided the leadership for this team.
Rudy Distrito, the pass back to Vergel Meneses, possible 3-point play after the foul was called. Andy De Guzman commits personal foul number 1.
Beautiful pass by Distrito, and there you see those two players who exchanged teams during mid-season, colliding in mid-air, with Vergel Meneses getting the better of that exchange.
At the 4.5-meter line, the 3-point play is completed. First 3 points for Vergel Meneses in this ball game. Jun Limpot. Rick Marata. After the ball fake, finally a pass to Rick Marata. It was a little over, but then it bounced in and it favored Marata for his first pair of points. So now Swift is ahead still by a point. 8 minutes and 5, and Vergel Meneses, it's slapped away by Lambert Shell. Rudy Distrito, in and out. What a rebound by Lambert Shell. Really slapped that basketball. Rick Marata met by Rudy Distrito. 19 on their shot clock. A lot of time. Bong Alvarez, no cutters. There is one. Lambert Shell ball fake and then the fancy dribble and then the release. A little short. Harris will snare the rebound.
Shell was not squared for that shot. Another outlet pass here. Meneses wisely moving out as he was too deep under the basket.
11 on their shot clock. Nelson Asaitono. Before the pass off, I think there was a foul on Vergel Meneses, committed on Vergel Meneses.
It'll be on Lambert Shell as he bumped his body on Nelson Asaitono. What's very noticeable here, Jimmy, as you start this first quarter is that Swift has been taking it in the blue paint and taking it in the gut of the defense of Santa Lucia thus far.
Teres Lillana scored off the glass. 7 minutes and 9 and 3-point lead for Swift underneath. Bong Alvarez.
Well, Harris cannot afford to pick up another foul here. He has already won as we're only 5 minutes gone here in the first quarter.
We might look at the standings right now in Santa Lucia. We can say they're at the bottom, but they're 2 games away from the leader. As we looked at that conversion by the Swift Mighty Meaties. But we can't say they don't have a crack at the championship.
No, actually, it looks like the magic number of wins will be 12 here, Jimmy, for a team to safely make it to the finals, at least a playoff, assure themselves of a playoff. Santa Lucia may still get that outright, but they're looking at the 5 of 8 incentive rule. And certainly they have the best chances here since they have already picked up 3 wins.
Nelson underneath, right underneath the rim against Lambert Shell. 3-point ball game. Swift is ahead. 6 minutes. And 12 remaining. We're in the first quarter. Bong Alvarez on the right side. Back to the middle. Rick Marata. No steal by Nelson Asaitono. Limpot will not convert, but he will go to the 4.5-meter line. That'll be the first foul on Nelson Asaitono.
Asaitono was a step late there, trying to check himself after going for a steal. You know, one of the keys in this ballgame, I believe, will be Rick Marata. Esplana, whom Marata is replacing in the starting unit, in their last game scored about 24 points and had 8 assists in that ballgame. Rick Marata has to at least approximate half of that performance if Santa Lucia wants to keep close with Swift there.
Zandro Limpot, is he a cinch for Rookie of the Year? We don't have Johnny Albarrientos anymore. Alaska's not playing the semifinal round.
You know, I think it's a safe wager to say that June Limpot is on his way to making Rookie of the Year. Certainly now he's setting his sights for the mythical 5 selection, and of course, aside from the bonuses in his contract, that's going to be a big honor.
Vergel Meneses, oh, this time it's all net. After 2 previous misses from that spot, he now has 7 points. Vergel Meneses for the Swift Mighty Meaties, 4-point lead. That's what they have. Rick Marata to Andy de Guzman, in and out. And the rebound will be taken by Tony Harris, knowing that Lambert Shell was there. Secured the basketball, passes off to Vergel Meneses. He was right there on the sidewalk of Harrison Boulevard, so that was called outside. We have a timeout call. This 4-point ball game resumes, and you just saw that foul by Alvarez right after that miss.
Well, he was trying to go for the offensive rebound there, but he went over the back of Tony Harris. Harris has hardly taken a shot here, and Meneses again being set up by Tony Harris. Kisses it off the glass, and now Swift is on top by 6 here.
And Meneses has 9 points. Alvarez 2. Lambert Shell, the crossover dribble, and then in there, and that'll make it a 4-point ball game once again. 19-15. Swift is ahead 4 minutes and 37 remaining in this first quarter.
Well, you can see obviously that both teams are slowing it down. They know the capacity of each team to run and gun, and so far it's really been the team that has been executing well. Another great pass. That's the way Swift has played today. They've moved the ball well, looked for the open man in the blue paint.
We're looking at a team playing in the hard court right now.
Well, I guess they're being affected by the criticisms that they have not really played as a team here, with Tony Harris hugging the ball too much. So now they're showing a little bit or a lot of team effort right now.
That's how basketball is spelled. It's T-E-A-M.
Without the letter I, as Coach Ron Jacobs would put it.
Nelson Saitono acknowledges the foul committed underneath in the blue paint. And still a short appeal to referee Varela.
Here's that good fake by De Guzman. Aceitono will reach in. Well, the reason why he was appealing this case is because that will be his second personal foul. Certainly that will affect Coach Yang Yao's own rotation here.
4 minutes remaining. Andy De Guzman, his first shot from 4.5-meter line will go in. He has 3 points right now. Top scoring for the Swift Mighty Meteors has been Vergel Meneses for Santa Lucia, evenly distributed between Alvarez and De Guzman, and then there's Limpot. Again, Vergel Meneses is making a living from that spot for the Swift Mighty Meteors.
Well, what's happening now with the Santa Lucia defense is they're trying to make Tony Harris give up the ball and challenge the locals of Swift to make the basket. So far, that has not worked for Santa Lucia, and it has done wonders for Swift.
Lambert Shell wanted the baseline, didn't get it, and even lost the basketball as well.
Santa Lucia, one of the most error-prone teams here, averaging about 17 turnovers. Swift, one of the best in forcing the turnovers. Some numbers this early, Swift already with a big advantage in terms of assists. Oh, what a slam.
Tony Harris, his 4th point.
And that's what happens when you draw the defense several times and passes it off. This time, the defense tried to read it going back on the wings, but Tony Harris took it strong, got the easy slam inside.
And Rick Marata in heavy traffic, lost it, but there's Bong Alvarez. The miss! Tony Harris sees Rudy Distrito streaking down, and it's stolen by Andy De Guzman. It will be a 4-on-2 foul committed by Harris.
Or Distrito. Yes, it could be on Rudy Distrito here. Big sigh of relief for Tony Harris.
Oh yes, there was that foul, but Harris was also there. Andy De Guzman, right after the timeout, converted his first charity, also converted his second one. And now it is 25-19. And again, Vergel Meneses, they're not guarding him at that spot, so he's been making a living.
Well, the rotation has been a step late for Santa Lucia. Jun Limpot tried to stretch out on defense, but the spacing of Swift has been magnificent here.
This play was executed earlier, different type of execution. Still successful, and 8 points for Andy De Guzman. He is top scoring for Santa Lucia. 2 minutes and 7 remaining in this first quarter. Vergel Meneses over to Saldana. Yes.
Very simple play here. I think Swift has really studied their tapes, knowing that the defense would be drawn on Tony Harris, and now Swift is just moving that ball very quickly and looking for that open man.
Alvarez. Lambert Shell is well covered by Perry Saldana. So Alvarez wanted to take that pop and lost the basketball, and Tony Harris is on his way. And that is only the 6th point of the import.
That's right, but he has also picked up about 5 rebounds and 5 assists in this ball game already, and we're only in the first quarter here.
Limpot will miss. Oh, a strong rebound by Lambert Shell. Follow-up doesn't go. Lambert Shell once again underneath. Oh, yes, the 3rd time around it goes in.
Very pugnacious off the board. Lambert Shell looking for a foul. Coach Nat Canson still very calm despite the 8-point lead erected by Swift here.
And while Tony Harris was dribbling that basketball, crossing the center line, Aceitono was appealing his case. And he's right underneath. The alley-oop play didn't work. Lambert Shell streaking down and finds a wall, and Tony Harris. There was a foul before that. Could have been on Vergel Meneses. Or, yes, it was on Harris.
Here's that crossover dribble. Then the sidestep by Lambert Shell that forced Tony Harris into that foul. That will be number 2 on Tony Harris. So both Asaytono and Harris now with 2 personal fouls. Not a very good sign, although Swift is still on top here.
Lambert Shell with 5 points in the ball game. Rudy Distrito will be replaced by Al Soles. We'd like to take this opportunity to greet the Ad Congress people, all the participants in the Advertising Congress. And we hope you're having a nice time right there and enjoying this ball game. Yes, that's Camille. That was Camille, the girlfriend of Lambert Shell. Watching Lambert Shell do his thing here at the hard court. He's been leading Santa Lucia in the semi-final round in spite of the absence of Geraldo Esplana. Illegal defense whistle.
That was very clear. Junlin Pot didn't know who to pick up on defense, and he was just roaming around the blue paint. Almost a automatic free throw as we're only 29.4 seconds remaining in the quarter.
6-point lead. Time for one play. Tony Harris, Vergel Meneses. Saldana moves over to the other side. Isolation play for Vergel Meneses. It was a handoff to Saldana, who's fouled underneath the rim.
Now Swift showing its muscle in terms of their slashing ability here. Every time somebody comes into the blue paint, a lot of the defense is drawn to him. That leaves 1 or 2 guys free on the wings. Terry Saldana has been a recipient of those passes, and he has delivered already with 6 points. Saldana only averages about 2 points per ball game. So he is a big lift for Coach Yangao off the bench here.
It was Lambert Shell who committed the foul on Saldana. Second free throw is all net. And it's still a relatively huge lead for the Swift Mighty Middies. Underneath, oh, De Guzman bobbled and lost it. Marata, I hope he realizes he has very little time. Lambert Shell! It was a good line towards the hoop, but it didn't go, and it's 33-25 for the first.